Hello, how are ya? This is Els coming from Beavis Crafty Corner, and today we have this. This is a one-sheet wonder. You know, they do them all the time for cards and things like that, so I thought we'd do one for a folio. So this is a one-sheet wonder folio, okay? Let's just open this up and take a look. So, when you open it up, you got a belly band right here. You get a nice big pocket over here. You get a pocket here, and there's another small belly band right here at the top. This is all from one sheet of paper, okay? And then, you know, whatever you want to decorate. So, all tied together, easy peasy. So we're going to go ahead and get out some supplies, and we're going to get this started. Very easy, very quick, just a few cuts, and we're done. So I will be right back with all the supplies for this. Be right back. Okay, supplies. Paper trimmer, scoreboard, scoring tools, some ribbon, lace, or some other trim that you want to use to tie this. Oh, some adhesive. Glue is recommended here. And corner rounder is optional. A piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and you know, some paper for decorating. Okay? So I'm going to get stuff out of the way. We're going to come back. I'm going to show you the cuts here, and we'll get started. I'll be right back. So we're going to start with a piece of 12 by 12, and we're going to cut it down to 8 inches. So we now have a piece that is 8 by 12. Then we're going to cut, this piece here is now 4 inches wide, so we're going to cut a 3-inch pocket. There. And then we're going to cut this piece down to 8 inches. And I'm going to go just a hair under the 8. Okay? And then I'm going to cut a piece that is 2.5. And that is all of our pieces. Okay? No waste. So I got everything cut for that. And I'm going to get this put away, out of the way, and then I'm going to bring in the decorated paper, and we're going to cut those pieces. So I'll be right back with that. All right, since our base is 8 inches, we're going to be cutting our mats at 7 3/4. So I'm going to cut this down to 7 3/4. And then I'm going to start cutting our mats. Now, I have 2 sheets here that are matching because I want my cuts to be exactly the same. So 7 3/4. 2 of these at 3 5/8. So that's 3 5/8. That is the mark between 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. 2 of those. And then we're going to do 2 at 3 3/4. So just slightly wider. And then 3 7/8. And that is the mark between 3 3/4 and 4. Okay. Make sure I got my paper straight. Okay. So you should have them, they should be stepped. All right. So once that's done, we're going to be cutting out of something else. You can do it out of the same paper if you want. I like to do it out of different paper. I'm going to be cutting 7 3/4 on this as well, because those are my biggest pieces. Okay, so 7 3/4, and then I'm going to cut 1 at 1 1/4. One at 2 1/4. One at 3 3/4. And then I'm going to turn that and cut it down at 2 3/4. Because this is directional. Let's see. and then one piece that is 3 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and those are all the pieces that I need to cut for this. So now that I'm done cutting, I'll be back and we'll do some scoring. Be right back. So we're going to be scoring this in two places. At 3 7/8, which is 1 tick before the 4, and then 8 inches. Okay. Some light scoring is always better than, you know, deep gashes. So that is all of the scoring for this. And then we're just going to take our bone folder and we're going to fold this. Remember, hills into valleys, valleys into hills. Okay. Now, if you put these flaps down, you're going to see one of them has a very narrow piece here, and the other one has a much wider one. You want the wider one, okay? Doesn't really matter, though. It's entirely up to you. So, that's it for scoring. Now we're going to talk about our actual pieces. So, on these, we're going to ink. You can round corners if you want to. You do not have to. I kind of like the way that looks. Just to have the rounded corners on the square folio. So I will go ahead and round all of my corners. And then I'm going to ink all of my pieces. Again, inking is a personal choice. You may or may not want to. It is entirely up to you. So go ahead and pause the video here and get everything rounded and inked and ready to go. And if you're ready to go, just let it play. Because when we come back, we're going to start putting these mats down. Okay? So I will be back in just a moment. All right, so we have all of our pieces inked, cut, corners rounded, all of that. So I'm going to take these big pieces and the base, put that to the side, and we're going to work on these. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be gluing these pieces onto these pieces. There, and this one over here, and then when I'm done with this, I'll come back and we're going to work on getting the bigger pieces put onto the base. So go ahead and finish this part up and I will be right back. Okay, so if you stack these up, you're going to see that they're stair-stepped. See that? So the littlest one is going to go on the littlest flap. Glue that one down. Then the next size goes on this flap. And then the next size goes on the inside flap. And then you're going to do the other 3 flaps, okay? So go and get that done, and then come on back, and we'll move on to the next part, okay? I'll be back. All right. So now we're going to be looking at this, and we're going to be putting a pocket here and a belly band here, and a belly band here, and a pocket here. So let's start off on the far side. Make sure that you have your pattern going in the right direction. If you have directional paper, if you don't, that's fine. Put it on there any old way you want. You want to put it on upside down, that's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And because there is a mat under it, I'm just going to use my bone folder right on the edge, just to make sure that I get that well adhered. And then I'm going to put my little belly band, my tuck, right up here. Now this piece is 4 inches, and the space that you have here is 4 1/8, so it's going to fit in there nicely. And then here's my bottom pocket. Again, I'm going to make sure that my direction's going right. I'm going to put that in. And again, because I am gluing over a mat, I'm just going to press my edge down with my bone folder. All right, and then my belly band, making sure that I've got that going in the right direction, is going to go over here on the far side. Just like that. That is my piece. Now, this one doesn't have a ribbon and this one does. There's a reason. Because if you want to put the ribbon on, you're going to do that before you put on this back panel. Okay? For me, it's not that important one way or the other, and I'm going to be using my ribbon as part of my design on this. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ribbon on the top, and when I come back, we're going to do a little bit of decorating and design on this. Okay? I'll be right back. So I want to put a belly band on mine, because I'm going to put it in a pocket. So I'm going to cut a strip that's 2 inches by 12, but we're just using this to show you. And then I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to fold those, and what I'm going to do is put some glue on the smaller flap. Doesn't have to be a lot, because it's just to kind of hold it down. Okay, and then you'll see that this goes all the way over, so I'm going to put some glue along that edge and along the outside edge here. Now that's going to glue it in 2 spots, and then fold it over, and I have a belly band. Okay, and it's a nice thick one. And somewhere here, I have the one that I made. So, whenever there's a belly band, you never use a scoreboard. So let me get this out of the way. What you're going to do is put this on your project and then kind of hand fold it over, just to where you want it, and then go ahead and cut that piece, that excess off. Okay, and then again, you're going to put glue on both ends. So the top on this end and the underside of this end. That way when you glue it together, it gets glued in 2 spots. And since you put it on by hand, it moves, and there's my belly band. See, so that's part of my design, and that's the way I wanted to do this. So that's it. The next thing you can do is put on some decorations and make some tags and some journaling cards and things like that, and you can add this to your journal. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here, hit the button for me, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff, and check out my Facebook as well as the community tab here on the YouTube channel. It's going to tell you a whole bunch of interesting stuff about what goes on the channel. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.